Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Tangram Product Focus webinar. I'm so excited today to be joined by Charlie and Graham from the team at Blutui. As many of you will know, at Tangram, we partner with the world's best platforms who really specialize in helping agencies become more profitable, more efficient, and doing their work better, leveraging technology. And we're really excited earlier this year to have begun partnering with the Blutui team to bring this amazing platform to the market. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Graham and Charlie now, who are going to introduce you to the platform and the efficiencies that it can bring for agencies in the world of website development.
Thanks, Helen. Thanks for that warm welcome. And to everyone on this call, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us in launching Blutui to Adland. We're coming to you from Aotearoa, New Zealand, so a great big kia ora from us to you. I'm Graham Blake. I'm the incredibly non-technical founder and CEO of Blutui, and to my right, my learned colleague here is our CTO, Charlie Cooper. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to run you through kind of the backstory of Blutui, how it came to be, why it came to be, and then we'll pass you over to Charlie for a technical demo, a somewhat technical demo, run through the platform. So as founder, I've been in digital agencies most of my grown-up life, I guess. I've been in and around web development for probably 20 years as managing teams, managing clients, which is a little bit like herding cats, and owning agencies. And over my time, I've seen just about every way that a web build can go sideways. We've delivered lots and lots of successful projects, but behind the scenes, things ain't perfect. And so over the last 6 years, we set about to identify all of those challenges that are unique to creative agencies, not just our creative agency. We literally toured the world and headed over to the UK and Europe and Australia and sat down with CIOs, CTOs, ECDs, studio managers in network agencies, smaller 40-man agencies, and the works, and spoke with a lot of people and heard that the issues that we were experiencing are basically industry-wide. So coming home with all of that great information, that great intelligence, and having drunk far too many rosés waist deep in the Mediterranean at Cannes, we've come back to New Zealand and we put our thinking caps on, and we've figured out a way to provide the industry with a platform that addresses all of the challenges of technical fragmentation, multiple third-party tech, expensive to run full-stack development teams, and the various technologies out there that are so locked down that while they might be easy to bang out a quick and dirty site, the levels of creativity that you're able to execute and deliver to your client, who is expecting to be delivered a magnificent agency developed site, basically the ability to create anything that you want just isn't there. There are so many DIY and generalist solutions out there that are, and I call them, I shouldn't call them quick and dirty. They're built for a purpose, and the purpose that they deliver on is they absolutely deliver on them, and it's perfect for that, but it's not perfect for the creative agency, for the ad industry or creative agencies. And so, as I said, we've set about to change that for the industry for good. And so without any further, I shall pass over to my good friend Charlie here, and he will run you through the ins and outs of Blutui and why it is so damn special.
Cool, thanks, Graham. Before I start, I'm just going to play a video for you all, just a short video, which kind of encapsulates what Blutui is all about. And then after that, I'll go into a bit more detail about the platform.
You're a creative agency. You know that building and managing websites can be complex and expensive. So what are the options? Running your own infrastructure, hosting, and development team is expensive, and it's not core business. Outsourcing is like herding cats. Trusting another company's staff, competency, and priorities to deliver on your creative vision within budget and on time is nerve-wracking. Outsourcing can result in fragmentation, admin headaches, and you risk losing control of your client relationships. Blutui is the solution. Letting your designers create and manage web projects without the need for software engineers or infrastructure experts. With Blutui, you create powerful sites without compromising on creativity. Your designers use their favorite tools within the Blutui platform. All you need is a talented designer and Blutui to take control of your creativity, deadlines, and costs. Blutui, the web platform built for agencies the world over.
Cool. So hopefully that gave everybody a bit of an overview of what Blutui is all about. So I'm just going to start running through some slides here to go a little bit deeper into what Blutui does and how it works. So as Graham said, there are some problems with the way that Adland delivers websites and how advertising agencies deliver their digital projects, and they're fairly widespread and complicated. But what we've really tried to do is address all of these with Blutui. The end result of all of these combined is that web agencies end up putting out websites that are less creative than they'd like them to be, or maybe they compromise on creativity or design because of the platform. Agencies have less project control, so their account managers might be working harder to keep control of projects, and overall lower productivity and less margin as a result. So Blutui provides a unified website development platform which removes any requirement and cost of full stack development, so DevOps engineers or hosting support. So what does Blutui deliver? So at the core of it, Blutui is about agency ownership and control. So all of your sites in one place in the Blutui platform, and the ability to manage all of your sites simply, and to have the agency have control of those sites. So you've not got sites in different places with different providers. Everything's centralized in Blutui, and we'll see a bit later on when we look at the console how that works. The second principle of Blutui is to provide complete creative freedom. We don't want the platform getting in the way of either the developers or the designers. We want people to be able to have a creative vision and take that vision through to a fully fledged website without having to compromise at any point in the process. Speed and efficiency also come into Blutui. All of our thinking around the app and how we've designed the workflow is around how can we make web development faster? How can we get rid of the barriers that are standing in developers' ways and agencies' way, and make the process of developing websites super quick and super fast, because fast websites mean better margins, and it's better for everybody if the websites get through the business quickly. So Blutui is a unified platform, and the idea is to allow agencies to get digital projects done well and done quickly. So how do we do this? Well, we remove the complexity of full stack development. So that we take that out of the equation. The platform does all of that work. And Blutui also uses web standards. So we don't have our own proprietary code or ways of doing things. We stick to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if your developers understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which almost all of them do, the front-end developers, they can get going in Blutui really quickly and seamlessly without putting in any effort at all. They just straight into the app and building websites. The other thing is Blutui is a very versatile platform. So you can build anything from quick landing pages to really heavy data-driven sites. So it's suitable to build a whole range of different types of site. And I'll show you a bit later on when we talk about collections how complicated these sites can get on Blutui. So we're going to talk now about the console. So the console is the area where you can manage all of your websites in one place. It's granular control for your management teams, and it's all done in an agency branded environment. So on the left here, we can see all of the sites in this agency. In the middle, you can see the status of these sites. So if they're published or in development, really easy to log in to these sites. So a click of the button and you're into that site. And then under the console, there's lots of different settings for the sites. There's domain management, there's permission management. You can control who's working on that site or what the team is. And you can also jump between organizations. So Blutui supports multiple organizations. So if you have a network agency with lots of different areas that you need to split out, they can all have their different Blutui instance, and it's really easy for developers or account managers to hop in and out of those areas really quickly. The other thing about the console, and in fact the whole of the app, is it's totally white label. You can white label the whole app, so your agency brand appears and your colorway appears throughout, and so everybody using the app has the feel that it's your agency owns it. So in terms of talent in Blutui, you can invite a front-end developer from down the road, or a SEO specialist from across the world into your application. The idea is that you get the best team from wherever you need to get them into your project, working on the project. And then that team can either go and work on another project, or it might be a different team, or you can have that team working in your agency in a long-term basis. So it's really flexible to allow you to manage different resources from all over the planet and have them work on your websites. Collections is what I was just alluding to earlier, and it's a way essentially to turn front-end developers into database engineers. So we make building data structures and building complex websites super easy and make it really straightforward. So this is a property listing site, quite a big project if you were to build it from scratch. And most people would consider this something akin to a web app, where they would go, okay, well, we've got to display all these houses, and we know we've got to do filtering by price range and bedrooms and region. And so all of this complexity normally requires you to think web app scale. But with Blutui, you can do all of this with collections. So collections can be built customized to the site. So you only end up with the fields that you need for that site. And then it's really simple to build those collections and connect them together to essentially build data structures that do everything that a complex database would do, but without any of the difficulty that you run into. And it's really straightforward for front-end developers to get up and running and build these data structures. Courier is our development tool. So Courier lets developers build in real time, and that's really important for speed. And it also lets them use the tools that they love, which is really important too, because we don't want to get in the way of developers. They're going to make the most difference to your workflow and the speed at which you're churning out websites. So you want to make their life as easy as possible. And that's what we've tried to do with Courier. So with Courier, they can develop in their text editor of choice. So it could be Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, or any IDE that they like to work with or are familiar with. They can write their code, and as they're writing their code, Courier is pushing that code up to our servers, and their site's getting rendered as they write. So what that means is there's instant feedback for the developer. They make a change, they can see it in the live environment, and it replicates exactly what they're coding. So the feedback means that they can quickly establish if there's a problem and fix it, and they're not having to deal with two separate environments, but they get all of the benefits of being able to develop locally and have their site on the cloud in the environment that it will go live in. Components are another way we sped up the process of building websites. So it's a way of fast tracking development using code snippets. And essentially what it allows you to do is build site structures in minutes and not hours. So here's an example of some components. You can see they're all relatively generic at this stage, but it's easy to take these elements and to convert them into a site which has all the branding of your customer wants. And it doesn't mean that every site has to look the same. It's quite the opposite, really. The components are there to be modified and adjusted by the developer to act as a jumping off point for the website, but it does mean that they've got this framework that they can quickly work to in order to get where they're going faster. So finally, I'm going to talk about Canopy. Canopy is client-proof in-page editing for agency teams and client-side content managers. So what this means is if you have the need to do in-page content editing, Canopy supports that, and you can dive in and edit the page. You don't have to worry with Canopy about doing any damage to the page or messing up the layout or accidentally dragging or dropping anything. It's really robust against people making, clients making mistakes on the page. And it's designed to be super simple for content editors to make it fast for content to be edited on page. So just to summarize, Blutui harnesses the latest technology, and we really have used the latest technology. Everything that we've built Blutui on is cutting edge. And we're trying to use some of the other technologies that are out there that aren't currently being leveraged by web platforms. And that allows us to remove barriers to creativity, accelerate the rate of development, and fast development is good for everybody, and drive the efficiency and eventually drive margins. So now agencies can take control of their web development. They can improve their creative outputs, ultimately driving down costs and improving margins. So I'm going to hand back over to Graham now to continue.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Charlie. That was insightful. I learned a lot. So as with all things agency, there are no two that are the same. And so the way we approach onboarding, talking to agencies and ultimately onboarding them is bespoke. We like to get into a conversation with them, find out how you're producing your websites or delivering your websites at the moment, what style, what sort of scale, what sort of volume of sites you might be producing. And we wrap a team around that, and then we come back to you with a bespoke pricing model. And so Carl and Helen from Tangram will be kind of reaching out to agency people on this call, or after this webinar at least, to set up some of those conversations. And the next thing that I have to do in terms of housekeeping, someone on this call is going to walk away with a 12-month agency plan. Have you got the next slide there? And the winner is Ankit Upadhyay, senior technologist at Publicis Sapient. So congratulations. We will be talking to you quite soon. And then the next bit is the most delicious Blutui agency cocktail pack, which goes out to Alexandra Zavaronkova, and that will be being sent out. I can't guarantee when it will get to you with worldwide logistics as they are, but we'll be sending that to you at Media Monks, as soon as we can get it out the door. So I'm going to now hand back to Helen, who is going to talk about the 90-minute tech demos.
Thanks so much. That was a fantastic presentation. So at Tangram, our vision is all about supporting the Blutui team and our agency clients and bringing the product to market. And so as part of that, we're really keen to book in 90-minute technical demonstrations and consultations with us at Tangram in terms of looking at efficiencies and everything the technology can do, but also with Charlie's team over at Blutui, so you can really get under the hood of how the platform works and how it can support your business. And to that end, we will be in touch to arrange those consultations. So thank you to everybody for joining this webinar today, and we look forward to speaking with you all again soon. Thanks very much to the Blutui team.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.
as their chair.